Hello and welcome to the channel. If you've noticed the title of this video, today I'm doing an unboxing. And if you'd like to know what I'm unboxing, stay tuned. Okay, I am in my spare bedroom, and as you can see behind me, there are a ton of canning items. And today I'm going to be unboxing my new 23 quart Presto canner. But before we do that, let me give you the backstory. If you have been watching my videos, you already know that I have been canning and that I have a 16 quart Presto canner. Here it is right here. And I really, truly enjoy this canner. I know many people have canner specifics. They like a certain type of canner. This was my very first canner, and I really enjoy the ease and simplicity of it. The reason why I purchased a 23 quart canner is because I found myself not well earlier this month, and I was down for several weeks. And I thought to myself, now that I'm feeling a lot better, that it really would have been helpful if I would have had some canned foods like soups and something quick and easy on the shelf for me to eat. I didn't have a lot of canned foods on the shelf, and to be honest, I wasn't feeling well and I didn't have an appetite, so I didn't want to eat. I also lost my sense of smell, so if you've ever not had a sense of smell and then went to eat something, it's a little weird, a little off-putting. And so during all of this, I realized that I need to can some soups and some ready-made meals so that when I don't feel well or one of my family members don't feel well, all we have to do is just open up a can of food, pop it in whatever we're going to warm it up in, and eat. So that's why I'm here today unboxing. And before I do that, I got a couple things in the mail. Favorite place that we always go shopping. Just got them in the mail today, and they have a lot to do with what I'm going to be unboxing. So let's see. They wrapped this up pretty good. Now, what I know about the 23 quart is that it only comes with one rack in the inside. That's the one thing I kept hearing people say, is that their 23 quart only came with one rack. So before I got started, I purchased another rack. Now, I did not realize that this was going to come with two, but I'm glad it did, because you just never know. You might need an extra rack. Something might happen to your racks and you might need an extra. You might want a water bath can in a stock pot and need a rack. So nope, this is actually one. So I'm glad. I thought it was two, but it's actually one. And so I have an extra rack for my canner. Now, on the 16 quart, it comes with a giggler. On the 23 quart, you have a pressure gauge weight, I think is what it's called. And when I open it up, I'll show you everything that's in there. But what I've noticed is many individuals, many old school canners that are canning on Presto canners, 23 quart Presto canners, they are switching out their weighted gauge for the giggler. They say that they feel it helps them out better than to always rely on the pressure gauge, the readout. I'm probably saying all this wrong, but I'm going to read the booklet, and I'm going to be able to say exactly what these tools are called. But I'm going to try the giggler with this canner instead of what comes with it. That way I don't have to rely on the gauge in the event that something happens and I cannot take this canner to the extension office to have it looked at every year to make sure that it's running at the most optimal. And then the other thing that I got today, also for the canner, at least I hope that's what this is. Put my scissors away so I don't lose them. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Just like my 16 quart that came with it, I ordered another giggler. And I got this from the big box store online. It's the exact same as the one that came with my 16 quart. See? Same. And that way I have two. I have an extra just in case I need an extra, but this one is bought specifically for my 23 quart. So now let's get into unboxing this 23 quart. So let's unbox this. As you can see, it's got the plastic and everything. I haven't done anything to it other than bring it in the house. And I've been looking for this thing for quite a while. I was unable to find it at Walmart or there are a few other places in town that carry canning supplies, but I was unable to find it in those locations. I went out of town recently and I found it on the Ace Hardware website, and I went to order it, and when I was going to go pick it up, they said that it wasn't ready, that it was being shipped to their store from somewhere else, and it was going to be available when I was not going to be in town anymore. So I canceled that, and I went to the local Ace Hardware, and they actually had two on the shelf. So I'm glad I walked in the day I did and was able to pick this up. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the other reason I bought a second canner is because I don't want to be in the middle of canning something and then I have to do 2 and 3 batches because I don't have enough canner space to do all I need to do. I'm not the kind of person that wants to sit in the kitchen for 24 hours canning. I want to be able to maximize the tools that I have in the event that I need to do that because I've done too much, which oftentimes when you're canning, you have a large amount of things that you're trying to process, and a 16 quart canner may not fully process what you need. You may have to run this 2 or 3 times or through a week's time to get what you need to processed. And I say that because with and I'm going to read the stats to you guys, with the 16 quart, and I think I had this in my mind, but I didn't have it completely right. With the 16 quart canner, it will process 7 quarts and 10 pints and 12 half pints. Let me say that again. 7 quarts, 10 pints, and 12 half pints. That's how much the 16 quart canner will process. The 23 quart canner will process 7 quarts, again, the same as the 16 quart. You get 7 quarts. You get 20 pints, and with this 16 quart, you only are allowed to process 10 pints. And with the 23 quart, you get 26 half pints that you can process at one time. So with having these two canners, if I have a large amount of food to process, I can knock this out in one setting. And that's what I wanted. So let's get into this box. So let's unbox this. As you can see, it's got the plastic and everything. I haven't done anything to it other than bring it in the house. And I've been looking for this thing for quite a while. I was unable to find it at Walmart or there are a few other places in town that carry canning supplies, but I was unable to find it in those locations. I went out of town recently and I found it on the Ace Hardware website, and I went to order it, and when I was gonna go pick it up, they said that it wasn't ready, that it was being shipped to their store from somewhere else, and it was going to be available when I was not going to be in town anymore. So I canceled that, and I went to the local Ace Hardware, and they actually had two on the shelf. So I'm glad I walked in the day I did and was able to pick this up. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the other reason I bought a second canner is because I don't want to be in the middle of canning something and then I have to do 2 and 3 batches because I don't have enough canner space to do all I need to do. I'm not the kind of person that wants to sit in the kitchen for 24 hours canning. I want to be able to maximize the tools that I have in the event that I need to do that, because I've done too much, which oftentimes when you're canning, you have a large amount of things that you're trying to process, and a 16 quart canner may not fully process what you need. You may have to run this 2 or 3 times or through a week's time to get what you need to process processed. And I say that because with the, and I'm going to read the stats to you guys, with the 16 quart, and I think I had this in my mind, but yeah, no, I didn't have it completely right. With the 16 quart canner, it will process 7 quarts and 10 pints and 12 half pints. Let me say that again. 7 quarts, 10 pints, and 12 half pints. That's how much the 16 quart canner will process. The 23 quart canner will process 7 quarts. Again, the same as the 16 quart. You get 7 quarts. You get 20 pints. And with this 16 quart, you only are allowed to process 10 pints. And with the 23 quart, you get 26 half pints that you can process at one time. So with having these 2 canners, if I have a large amount of food to process, I can knock this out in one setting. And that's what I wanted. So let's get into this box. I moved you guys up closer so that you all could see, hopefully a little bit better. I'm in the corner. I don't have a lot of space in order to put all my canning supplies, and I have some of everything over here. I've got jars that are full and jars that are empty and jars that I just purchased from the store. So there's a little bit going on in this corner, and soon I will be canning. This is the first video of my canning series. I don't know if I told you guys that, but this is going to be a canning series for me. Because of my experience, I'm going to be canning and putting some food on the shelf, more than what I already have, because I just didn't have it or didn't have enough. And I'm probably going to have to stand up. I have this sitting on some canning jars that I just purchased. I purchased some more pint size because I plan on getting it in, y'all. So let me stand up. I'm over in the corner, so hold on a second. All right, let's see if I can get this out of here without making too much damage to anything. Uh-oh, see? I'm gonna have to turn you guys off so I can move. I don't want to put my whole body in the shot. All right, so I just turned the box upside down and just dumped it out, and it came out perfectly without me doing any more damage, because damage happens. So I'm just gonna try and take this styrofoam off the bottom. Let's turn it sideways and do it like that. There we go. And put that in the box. Let's see how they have this. Let's see. I am so glad that people who are professionals that know how to package this stuff, package it up, because I would not do a very good job of packaging because I can never get anything back in the box. All right, so there we go. Got the bag off. This is the top, the lid, and let's see. I'm just going to open that up, put that in the bag, in the box. This is the lid. Comes with this rubber gasket. You must clean your rubber gasket every time you can. And I would say every third time you can, use a little bit of oil, maybe not cooking oil, maybe a little bit of petroleum jelly. Read your manufacturer's handbook. It'll tell you how to keep this moistened so it doesn't crack on you before time. And it comes with your lock. This is a lock right here. This mechanism, once this pops up while you're canning, this lets you know that this can lid is locked and it cannot be opened. This is your spout, where your venting spout, where your steam will come from. I hope you guys can see that. You must always look through this before canning. Use a pipe cleaner to clean this out. You want to make sure that this you can see through. And you can see a little bit through there to make sure that it's not clogged before you use your canner. So this is the exact same top as my 16 quart over here. The only difference is this comes with this right here, and this is your readout gauge. It tells you how many pounds of pressure you are at with your canner. And I'm going to put this on off screen. Well, you know what? I'm going to put this on screen with you all. I want you all to be able to see that because I don't think I've seen anyone do that. This is the pressure regulator right here. This is the original one. It's unlike this one. This is a one piece. These do not separate like this one. It comes with 5, 10, and 15 pound weight. This is just one single piece. And so I'm actually going to put this back inside of the little baggie because I'm not going to use that. That is the reason why I bought this little jiggler right here. I'm going to use this instead. I prefer this one. That's why I like this one so much. I was on the fence about this canner for many months. It was probably a year, to be honest with you, because I canned a year ago and I haven't canned since. I'm just going to put this back inside of the box so I don't lose anything. All right. And then inside of your canner, you have a little bag. And inside of that bag, you have your instruction manual. It's important that you read your instruction manual. This manual also comes with some recipes. And I'm sure this manual is roughly the same as my 16 quart, but I'm going to read this just to make sure that I know how to use this. I'm just going to sit this on the floor right quick. It also comes with some further instructions. When processing for times in excess of 100 minutes, which is 1 hour and 40 minutes, it gives instructions for that. It also gives instructions on not using this on a, or it says caution, do not use this pressure canner on an outdoor LP gas burner or gas range over 12,000 BTUs, such as a turkey fryer. And I actually do have a turkey fryer, and that's one thing I had a question about. So I'm really glad that I'm paying attention now when I open up this one, because I was thinking about possibly canning outdoors with my turkey fryer base, because I bought a say that 5 times fast. I bought a turkey fryer base, and it did not come with a what do you call it? A stock pot. I bought a stock pot to go with my base. I have a high-powered base, so I'm going to have to look into that, because I'm thinking about cooking outdoors. You know, what are my options if I need to do that? And so it comes with additional instructions, as well as, like I mentioned, it comes with one, and this one is all kind of scratchy, and I know I did not do that. Looked like it was scraped on something. I'm not going to complain about it, but can y'all see all them scuffs and scrapes? I don't know if y'all could see that, but it's all scuffed and scraped like someone took it and drug it across the floor. But that's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. But it comes with one. And so I'm glad that I was able to purchase a second, because the whole point of me purchasing this one, like I mentioned, is I want to do large batch canning, and I want to be able to double stack. And to be able to double stack, I wanted to do it with the proper tools. You don't have to have this if you're looking to can, but that's what I wanted for myself. So that's what it comes with. And then let me show you the inside of the canner. Let me put this back in the bag. I will be using this in my next video. You all will see that. And then let me put this lid down before I put this on top of the lid, or put this on the lid. Place all this on the floor gingerly. Take my plastic bag, and I'm going to put this inside of my box. I'm not going to get rid of my box, not yet. And so this is the 23 quart canner. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? I don't want to twist it around on my knee, just in case it's got some sediment and it get on my pants, because I got on white pants. But yes, this is a 23 quart. I was just reading the bottom to see if it had any cautionary information. It just says caution, read instructions, made in China. And then it gives you the model number etched on this side. Let's see, nothing on that side. The handles are put on by, looks like screws and bolts. Yep, screws and bolts. I do know that sometimes they get a little wiggly, so you just screw it back down with the screwdriver. Just like the 16 quart, it gives you instructions as far as how to align the lid. You line up the arrows. This is where the locking mechanism will lock onto. And this is the inside of the canner. I don't know if you all can see. I will be using a black Sharpie or red Sharpie or whatever kind of Sharpie I feel like using is colorful, because sometimes I like a splash of color, as you can tell by how I'm always dressed. But there are lines in here. There's one, let's see if I can see them. 1, 2, 3 lines in here. And this is an indicator of how far your water level will be. But please read your manual so that you know how much water to fill your canner. And the other reason why I like this canner is it's not extremely heavy. When you're buying canners, if you choose to buy a canner, think about how heavy that canner is without water in it, and then fill it up to the level that you would need to put water in it. Normally, I think it's 3 quarts of water, but read your instruction manual. These can get to be really, really heavy. They could damage your stove. They could hurt, you could hurt yourself, hurt your wrists. So you have to be careful when you are lifting up these canners. And like I mentioned, they have lines inside of the canner to indicate your water level. Let me show you on my 16 quart. Let's see. You just twist the lid. Did you see me do that, y'all? You just twist the lid like this to get it off, just like that. And then you just lift it up like that. Now I do use my canner, so do not be surprised. It's not the dirtiest of canners. I do clean it to the best of my ability to get all the sediment out when I'm done using it. But can you all see that? Let me move it a little closer. Can you all see those black lines? I took a Sharpie and I marked the lines. That way I can see them clearly without having a struggle. Because if you have aging eyes like I do, and many people have eye issues, you can't quite see it. Mark it up with a Sharpie. It's your canner. Do what you want to do. That way you know specifically where your water line is. And so that's what I did with mine. Mine still smells like a little bit of vinegar, so I put vinegar in mine. All right, so let's close this up and let me wrap this up, and let me get and it's always a struggle to get your lid back on, I tell you. Let's see. Heavens. This thing drives me insane, y'all. So I got it on right. There we go. Line it up, y'all. And then you just twist it. Now, last thing I want to show you all is putting this on. Now, what you do is you take it out of the packaging, put your packaging up, and you screw this down. I'm hoping I'm doing this right. Let me read the instructions. Hang on, y'all. Because it comes with a bolt. And let me show you. It comes with a bolt. And don't ask me what this is. I can't remember the name of it right now. And I want to make sure I'm getting this right. I think this goes on like that. But I want to make sure I get it right. So let me read the instructions right quick. And then I'm going to put this on. I just want to make sure I'm screwing it down correctly. So hold that thought. Yep, it's exactly how I thought it was going to be. It's the nut. The metal washer goes on the bottom. You leave the white compression gasket on the top. And then this is the metal base. See, I knew I was doing it right, but I wanted to make sure, just in case I wasn't. So what you do is you take your nut, and what did I call this here thing? See, my husband always, he knows how to say all these things. I tend to forget. I know what I'm doing, but I may not be able to say exactly the tool, what it's called. Metal washer. Woo, there you go. I know what it is. I just don't know what it's called. And so you place this. Can you guys see? I want to put it on right because I don't like when stuff is backwards. That drives me crazy. Let me do this right here. I want to make sure that when I put the lid on, that it's facing the direction that makes sense to me, because if it's not, I won't be able to live with it. It'll bug me. I guess you would call that a touch of OCD. It would bug me too much. I won't be able to live with it. So I need it to face forward like this. Just like so. So I'm going to take the lid off. I didn't put it on tight, but I need it to face forward and be straight, because if it's not straight, again, bugs me. And then you take your washer and your bolt. See, I remember what it was called that time. You flip it over and you put your washer on like so. And then you put your bolt on, and I'm holding it with my left hand. And before I secure it down tight, I want to make sure that it is, again, facing the forward. Because like I said, if it's not facing forward, it's going to bug me. All right, so I'm just kind of finger tightening it down. And I'm going to read the instructions to see if you need to use a wrench or ratchet or whatever it's called and tighten it down further. But see, that's how you put it on, just like that. Did you see that? And again, I need to make sure that all of my stuff is on straight, because if it's not, if it's backwards, I know you could turn the pot around, but no, it doesn't make sense to me. I need for it to be going the right way. All right, y'all. So I'm going to put it all together and then I'm going to wrap this video up, because I know y'all are probably tired of sitting here with me today. But I'm going to be using the jiggler. And the jiggler is going to negate this right here. If I was using the pressure gauge that came with it, then it would just take this all the way up to the pressure that I need it to be. And you look in your area, go online and find out, if you're pressure canning, what your altitude is, so that you know how far this needs to be. 10, 15, 11, wherever you are in the world, look up your altitude. But when you use the jiggler, it takes away the need to look up and watch this and keep it at your altitude. The jiggler will jiggle the way you need it to jiggle, just a nice little jiggle, like a little hula, and it will jiggle enough to where you know if it's in the right pressure. And I'm used to that. That's why I wanted to have it, because that I'm used to. I'm particular about certain things. If I'm used to it, I want to stick with what I know. I don't want to mess around with the new stuff. And that's what took me a long time to get this, because I was very hesitant. I did not want to use this. I did not want to have to be responsible for taking it somewhere in the event that something happens and I can't do that and have this calibrated. I wanted to still be able to use my canner, and not using what comes with it and using the jiggler gives you that option. Okay. And then of course, picking up the second tray was a must for me, because I plan on canning. And if you watch my next video, you will see what that is going to be coming up next. So I'm going to take all of this into the kitchen and I'm going to get ready for that canning session. And I want to say thank you for sitting with me today and going through me and my unboxing of my new canner and looking at my other canner and just listening to my story. If you're interested in canning, you can find these almost anywhere. I've been told you can even find these sometimes in thrift stores and in estate sales. Sometimes you can find these at estate sales. And so look around. You don't have to always buy something new. You can be gifted an older one. They last for a really long time. And if you're interested in canning, do yourself a favor and start small like I did. I, of course, have a ton of books, and I read and I go online and I watch people who've been canning for a really long time. And I get out there and I do my very best to can, because it's important to me to know what's in my food and to have food available to me and my family for our health and well-being. So I want to thank you very much for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed my content. If you did, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. Share my video. This is going to be a series for me. I'm going to be canning a little bit more this year. And so my next video will indeed be a canning video. So I hope you stay tuned for that. Turn on that notification bell. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's free. Become a Clausen World family member. I would greatly appreciate it. And so I hope to see you in the kitchen real soon. Bye for now.